к нам идет.
Вторая волна пошла по... А мост, вот здесь видно, как он по объезд. Пострадало здание городской...
Massive landslides, power cuts, mass evacuations near Europe's highest mountain stratovolcano. And we see pictures in this video, guys, where it seems the self-preservation instinct of people has been shut off. If you see these images, you will think, what is happening to you? Run, run. So stay with me. I have all the videos for you in this video. Let's start. A massive landslide has triggered evacuation and cuts the water supply for a lot of people near Mount Elbrus. What is Mount Elbrus, guys? Mount Elbrus is a stratovolcano. It's the highest mountain in Russia and in Europe. And the stratovolcano is dormant right now. It's rising up to 18,510 feet. That's 5,642 meters above sea level. And it is the highest volcano in Eurasia, as well as the 10th most prominent peak in the whole world. And it is situated in the southern Russian Republic of Kabardino-Balkaria, in the western extension of Ciscaucasia, and it's the highest peak of the Caucasus Mountains. And this mountain is interesting. It has two summits, both of which are dormant volcanic domes. So this mountain range lies between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, and this landslide is basically happening in between. Captivating images of this massive mudslide, landslides that does cut the water supply of thousands of people near Mount Elbrus. Around 3,000 people were left without water, and more than 350 residents were moved to safety because of this massive creeping landslide in southern Russia's Republic of Kabardino-Balkaria. A state of emergency was declared in the Elbruski municipal district as authorities began evacuations after heavy rainstorms have triggered these mudslides. It's unfortunately always, if there's heavy rain, we can see these mudslides. We've seen this in Italy a lot. I've reported about this in Switzerland, in Germany, but also in Norway, but now here in Russia. And that just basically at the same time where we had that mega thrust earthquake, 8.8, that was sending a tsunami across the whole Pacific. The Emergency Situations Ministry spokesperson has said 372 people were brought to safety from areas that were threatened by this flooding, and the mudslide has damaged water infrastructure in the district's administrative water center near Tyrnyauz. And I'll quickly interrupt the mudslide videos to show you the region. And it's pretty crazy. It's like a steep valley, and it already looks like, if you see the lighter areas, that there have been quite a few mudslides, and they have built like taller apartment blocks right next to the slides to the mountains. It seems to be a very narrow valley. And it also, now Google has also given us the location, the exact location of this landslide. And the town of Tyrnyauz is a town of 21,000 people. So it's not just a small village that is affected by this. It's near the border with Georgia. And around 3,000 residents were left without access to clean water, which is of course an absolute problem. After these main mudslides, so far until today, no new mudslides have been observed, but officials are giving dire warning that the area remains at risk for further incidents. There's a river that is flowing through the region. The river is called Gerkotsan Su River. And this river has also experienced mudslides just early last week. So it seems it's not a very stable area right now when it comes to that. And towering above all this is this Mount Elbrus stratovolcano. It's an interesting number that I found regarding the people that were evacuated, like in a preventive evacuation. So they said 372 residents, and almost 100 of them were children. That's an interesting percentage. They were coming from the upper and lower Gerkolzan districts, and they have opened 3 temporary accommodation centers in schools in Tyrnyauz and in nearby villages. It seems that was working pretty well. The residents were transported by municipal buses and were instructed to gather at the local mosque prior to departure. Not only water pipelines have been damaged by this mud flow, also gas pipelines and gas supply therefore had to be suspended in several areas, while electricity remained largely functional. This is the reports that we're getting. So thankfully it's not cold winter there right now. If you have your gas supply shut off, it's not good. And already shortly after that landslide, it seems they're well organized. They sent out municipal crews that began delivering water to affected residents later in the same day. Of course, all traffic through that valley, through that road, was suspended. They opened a bypass route. So far for now, the Elbrus district remains under a state of emergency. That was already declared on July 22nd, following a previous mud flow that has also damaged a federal highway bridge and has led to the evacuation of more than 40 tourists. So it was good that it was already under this state of emergency. Probably that has helped. But if you see, especially in this video, how people are standing so close to these retaining walls, they think, it seems, that they're completely safe. But then they're standing so close to this and they see how this wall is being pushed over and then completely collapsed by this mudslide. You don't really see, like, normally you would think something like a lightning strike would go through these people and they would run. And interestingly enough, a woman that films this, she seems to be upset and like, why? I'm not speaking her language. I can just guess that she said, "Idiots, run, get away." So is this like, what is this? Is this human instincts not working? Are they so trusting in their construction? I mean, that wall, even without the mudslide, it doesn't look very, very stable. So kind of crazy that people do not seek higher ground and that they're not running away. And I think this could have ended badly. I think they narrowly missed a disaster for them standing there. So the problem with this region, Tyrnyauz and the surrounding region, they are susceptible to recurrent mud flows. As you see, it's this valley, steep terrain, unstable geological condition, not many plants or trees that would hold the soil together. And then there come these periods of intense rainfalls that are pouring down on these areas. They had similar events in the 2000s, and they unfortunately ended catastrophic. There were over 2,000 people lost and severe destruction. And I can imagine, if I see these apartment blocks that do not look super solid and look old, if a mudslide comes from behind, I think it would rage through these buildings. And in 2018, I think that's important as well, the High Mountain Geophysical Institute has recommended reconstruction of the Gerhodsan Sioux River mud flow channel to reduce future risks. So probably build better retaining walls. What they did was they installed like a 24/7 mud flow monitoring post on the river in 2021, but that doesn't protect you from like these people that were standing there. They were just lucky, right? These retaining walls were not stable enough. I guess now they have to rebuild them. I don't think they have another choice. So hopefully they will listen to the advice of the High Mountain Geophysical Institute on how to do this. So I hope you found that interesting, guys. A lot is going on. Lightning strikes, thunderstorm eruption in Indonesia. Check out the video in the end screen. And a nuclear submarine base in Russia has been damaged, as it seems. New satellite pictures emerged severely by the tsunami that was caused by the magnitude 8.8 earthquake. So check that out as well. If you want to support the channel, guys, check the links in the description. You can fill me up with coffee on my buymeacoffee.com/silky site, or buy me a super, or become a monthly member supporting the channel. You're getting some behind the scene videos from me. I hope you're all doing great, that you're safe from any natural disasters, and it stays that way. Be vigilant, guys. I see you very, very soon. Click here. Then we don't have to part ways. Bye-bye.